In this part we are going to see the remaining part of the revision 2 too. Okay, so the first one is Java mathematical expressions. So in Java mathematical expressions, the expressions involve a combination of operators and operands and mathematical functions. So operators means the symbols that we are used to do some particular operations. Operand means the values that that are used along with the operators. Okay, so the mathematical functions means that is some expressions that yield a single value. Let us begin the discussion with the simple mathematical expressions involving only mathematical operators and operands. Okay, so example number 1. So what is the mathematical expression a plus b into c? So how will you write it? A plus b, this into symbol is that asterisk symbol, b into c. Note that the Java expression uses arithmetic operators corresponding to the mathematical expression. For example, yeah, this is the mathematical functions we are going, yeah, mathematical expression we are going to write the Java expression for this mathematical expression, that is a plus b upon 2. It will be written as a plus b. This division symbol, Java cannot accept this division symbol, so we write the backslash. Okay, backslash means upon 2. Here 2, the Java expressions uses arithmetic expressions to express the mathematical expression. Now we are going to see example number 3. Mathematical expression is like this: AB plus BC plus CA. So how will you write the Java expression in mathematics if you written like that? A into B plus B into C plus C into A. That is the meaning. So in mathematical expression we are able to do like this, but in Java expression we have, it is important to mention the symbol. Okay, A asterisk B, B asterisk C plus C asterisk A. Note that all Java expressions should have the multiplication arithmetic operator explicitly mentioned. Okay, we have to mention the into symbol. We cannot able to write the Java expression like this AB. It is must to mention the symbols. Okay. Example number 4. Mathematical expression is like this: x plus y upon 2. This we will write in Java expression is x plus y upon this backslash 2. So the next example we are going to see the example number 5. Mathematical expression is x plus y upon a plus b. So this will return as x plus y backslash a plus b. The parenthesis enforces x plus y to be evaluated first and then a plus b is evaluated and only then divided. First we have to find this parenthesis, also important here. We cannot write like this x plus y upon a plus b. If you write like this, means this a plus b is only for y. Okay, so there is need to put the parenthesis also when we are writing like this: x plus y, that is inside the bracket, that means the a plus b is common for x plus y. The next example is mathematical expression is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So if you find out the power of any number, the mathematical function for the Java expression is math dot power of. So what is the base here? A. What is the power here? 2. So it is base comma power plus 2 into a into b. So 2 asterisk a asterisk b plus b square means math dot power of b comma 2. Otherwise we are able to write, because it is the power is very small, so we are able to write like this also: a square means a into a plus 2 into a into b plus b into b. Okay, these two methods are right. Now the next example is mathematical expression square root of b square minus 4ac. So square root, for writing, to find the square root of any numbers, we have to use the functions math dot sqrt of. Okay, the square is common for b square minus 4ac. So math dot sqrt of, it is in the outer side, then we are going in the inner side, that is b square. So the function is math dot b power of pow of b comma 2, base comma 2 minus 4 into a into c. Here the power is very small power, so we are able to write like this also, math dot sqrt of b into b minus 4 into a into c. Okay. Note that the square can be written in either of the two ways. The next one is cube root. So math dot cbrt of a plus math dot cbrt of b. Note that the mathematically cube root of a can be written as a power 1 by 3. Okay, so if you want to write the power like form, so math dot pow of a comma 1 upon 3.0 plus math dot pow of b comma 1 upon 3.0. This is also right and this also right. Okay, now we are going to see the next example, mathematical expression for this. If you write like this, two lines के अंदर आप लिखेंगे, इसका मतलब that is the absolute value. Okay, so math dot absolute abs of a minus b plus math dot power of b comma 2. Note that the symbol, this symbol represents the absolute value. So like this, one other one, this is also square root and power we have to use here upon here also 3 upon 4.0 plus math dot square root of a. Note that the fraction 3 upon 4 if written in Java in the form 3 upon will yield 0. Matlab why we are written as 3 upon 4.0, because 3 upon 4 means that is a division, you know? So there is, for division we will take the quotient as the answer. So we cannot able to divide this number. It will be in the fractional part, that is 0 point will come. So it will produce only the quotient as 0. Instead of producing the output as 0, we have to put the denominator as 4.0. Although answer should be in decimal, this is because when an integer is divided by another integer gives the result as integer. Okay. So the next example we are, okay, the examples are over. Then we are going to start this new part, that is conditional construct in Java. Okay, conditional construct means we are going to see some loops. Okay, how to check the conditions by using some statements. Okay, conditional constructs are specific statements that allow us to check a condition and execute certain parts of code depending on whether the condition is true or false. Okay, so first conditional construct statement is if then statement. Okay, so we are going to see the statements one by one. The first one is if then statement. The if then statement is the most basic of all the control flow statements. It tells your program to execute a certain section of code. Only if a particular test evaluates to true, it has the following general syntax. So when you are going to write the if and statement, the syntax is like this. If, here the test expression, that is a greater than b, whatever the expression is there, the condition will be here. If the condition is true, it will execute the block of statements. Okay, so here we are going to see one example. For example, the following code snippet finds the sum and difference between a and b if the value of a is greater than 50. So the condition is if the value of a is greater than 50. So if a greater than b, c equal to a plus b, d equal to a minus b, this calculation we are able to do. If the value of a is less than 50, so we cannot able to do the calculations that is inside the curly braces. Here you can see that the only in case the value of a is greater than 50, it finds the sum and difference between a and b in C and this respectively. But if the value of a is not greater than 50, the execution skips the statements and the block mark between opening and closing braces continues with the next statement. Okay, so then we are going to see the if else statement. The if else statement is used. If the condition is true, it will do the true part. Okay, true part of block of statements here. If the condition is false, it will do the calculation after the else part. Okay, the if else statement allows to check the condition and execute certain parts of code depending upon whether the condition is true or false. If this selective statement, there are two parts depending upon text expression, the true part and the false part. The general syntax of else statement is here. If here the check condition is here, if the condition is true, it will execute the block of statements here. If the condition is false, it will execute the statements here. This is the example of if else statement. If a greater than 60, if the condition is true, it will print that greater than 60. If the condition is false, means it will print that not greater than 60. Okay, this is the example. The next example is the following statement. If the marks is between 90 to 100, it will print that the grade is A. If it is between 70 to 89, the grade is B. If it is between 15 and 69, it is C. If it is between 30 to 49, the grade is D. And if it is below 30, the grade is D. So how will you write the program for this? So the corresponding code will be like this. If the mark is greater than 90, system.out.println of the grade is A. If the mark is greater than or equal to 70, so B. Like this we have to write all the conditions like this. So if the condition is satisfied, it will go for the statement just below the condition. If it is false, it will go and check the other conditions. Okay, the next one is switch statement. Okay, so when we are writing the menu driven program, we are using the switch statement. Java provides a multiple branch selection statement known as switch. It successfully tests the valuation of the expression against a list of integer constant as found in the case statement, and when the match is found. So if the case is a match, it will do the block of statement inside the case. Otherwise it will stop. If the break statement is there, it will stop, or otherwise it will check all the other cases. Block of statement associated with the case gets executed. The syntax of switch statement in general form is as follows. So switch expression, then open curly braces, then you will see the block of statements, that is case constant 1. The statement 1 is there. If it is if the case is 1, then it will do the statements 1 we will do and the break statement. If we select cases 2, it will do the statement number 2. Like this it will go. Okay, so one default statement also there. If the case is not matched with if the case is not matching, it will directly go to the default statement and it will terminate the loop. Okay, now we are going to see a sample program for the switch case statement. So this is the calculator program. So see, we are using this by using scanner. This is the menu line, that is 1 to add the integer, 2 to subtract the integer, 3 to multiply the integers. Okay, so if we select the case 1, it will do the addition. If we select case 2, it will subtract the integers. If we select the option number 3, it will multiply the integers. If we select the case 4, it will display the messages it is a wrong choice, because here only we are giving only 3 cases. Okay, so case 1, switch off ch. Case 1, c equal to a plus b, this. Case 2, this. And case 3 means a into b. So here they have used the subtraction, for they are using the ternary operator. Okay, if a greater than b, when they subtraction a minus b will do. If it's a, if the condition is false, means we have to subtract like this, b minus a. Okay, so here they used the ternary operator. The next one is case number 3. multiplication. If the three cases are not there, if you give the choice as 4, it will display as it is a wrong choice. Okay, so that's all about switch statement. The next one is it iterative constructs in Java. Okay, we are going to study about the loops. There are three types of loops are there. There is for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So iterative constructs means, iteration means doing the same steps again and again. Okay, so it is called as a iterative constructs. So iterative constructs are also called loops. Loop means doing the same process again and again, whether it is 100 time or million time or crore time. Okay, so that is called as iterative construct. Iterative constructs also called loops or structures used in a Java program to execute a statement or a group of statements repeatedly as long as the given condition is satisfied or true. Java provides three kinds of loops, that is for loop, while loop, and do while loop. All three of them repeat a set of statements as long as the specified condition remains true. The specified condition is generally referred to as a loop control. Though any repetitive work can be done using any loop, it is important to know that certain loops are suited for certain operations. Okay, so now we are going to see the elements that control a loop. So what are the elements that we are using to control a loop? Every loop has elements that controls its execution. These elements can be grouped under the following in general. First one is initialization expressions. So what is initialization expression? Before entering the loop, the variable that controls the execution, it is called as initialization. Okay, so uh, the variables that we are used in the loop that need some specifications to do the calculations. Okay, that is called initialization. The initialization of variables may be inside a loop or outside the loop. Whether it may be it is whatever it may be, it is executed only once before the iteration starts. If the value is 1, means the value is 1. So when the iteration starts, it will increment the value by 1 or it will decrement the value by 1. So initial value will be remain as it is only one time before the execution. Okay, the next one is test expression. Test expression means how many times we have to repeat the loop. How many times you are going to repeat the same process. That is called as a test expression. We have to repeat the loop until the condition is when the condition is true, we are able to repeat it again and again. Whenever the condition becomes false, we have to stop the uh, execution process. The test condition is also called as text expression is also called as test condition, is a condition which decides whether loop body will be executed or not. Till the test expression evaluates true, the loop body gets executed, otherwise the loop is terminated. Okay, the next one is update expression. The update expression changes the values of the control variable. The update expression is usually made to be executed before the next iteration. Then body of the loop, if the condition test expression is true, the body of the loop will be repeatedly doing the same process again and again. The statements that are executed repeatedly as long as the test expression is true from the body of the loop. So now we are going to see the what is entry controlled loop and exit controlled loop. Now you know, if the test expression is true, we are able to do the process again and again. If the condition is false, we have to stop the process. Okay, the text expression may be checked by at the beginning of the iterations or at the end of an iteration. Depending upon the way a test expression is evaluated in the loop, it can be classified under the following. First one is entry control loop, second one is exit control loop. So now we are going to see what is entry controlled loop and what is exit control loop. In an entry control loop, the test expression is evaluated before entering the loop, whereas in an exit control loop, the test expression is evaluated before exiting from the loop. So entry control loop, the text expression is evaluated before entering the loop. So if the condition, when we are going to check, do some operation, first we have to check the condition. If the condition is true, then we have to do the operation. So that is entry control loop. So we have to do the expression first and then check the condition, that is exit control loop. Okay. So now we are going to see what is test expression. Already we studied about the text expression. Then update expression. The update expression changes the values of control loop. The update expression is usually made to be executed before the next step. Then you know what is the body of the loop. Okay, there is no need to explain. So the next is for loop. It is very important to know about this for loop because in most of the programs we are using the for loop. Okay, so now we are going to see what is for loop. See, the for loop is an entry controlled loop, because we have to check the condition before entering in for the calculation. That most concise loop structure which is easy to understand among the other two loop structure. The syntax of for loop is for. First we have to initialize the expression, we have to give the initial value. Here what we are going to test, the test condition we have to give. Then here increment operator or decrement operator, whatever it may be, that you have to give. So if the condition is true, it will execute the body of the loop, otherwise it will terminate the loop. Okay, if the body of the loop has only one statement to be executed, giving braces is optional. यहाँ पे if the body of the statement, यहाँ पे लिखा है if the condition is true we have to find the sum equal to a plus b. तो आप अगर करली ब्रेसेस का अंदर भी लिख सकते हैं, अगर करली ब्रेसेस यहाँ पे बॉडी लेफ्ट ओनली वन स्टेटमेंट का ज़्यादा है तो यू हैव टू यूज़ द करली ब्रेसेस. अगर वन स्टेटमेंट भी है यू आर एबल टू यूज़, अगर यूज़ नहीं करेंगे तभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ठीक है. देन वी आर गोइंग टू सी a program by using for loop to print the first 10 natural numbers. So the natural number means it will start from 1. So the initial value is 1. So less than or equal to 10 means equal to 10, that is 10 times it will repeat. Every time we will increment the value. First time I equal to 1. So system.out.println of I means 1. 1 we have print. Next I will increment the value by 1. I equal to I plus 1. So the value of I is 2 now. 2 less than or equal to 10. Yes, the condition is true. Then 2 will be print. Then I will increment the value. So I will become 3. 3 less than 10. Condition is true. 3 will be print. So if the condition I increment करते करते 10 times repeat हो गया, then I will increment the value by 1. 11. So it will 11 less than or equal to 10. The condition is false. Then it will exit from the loop. Okay. This is an example of for loop. The next one is while loop. So while loop is also an entry control loop because it will test the condition, then it will execute the body of the loop. If the condition is false, it will exit from the loop. If the condition is true, it will execute the body of the loop. The second variety of loop available in Java is the while loop. The while loop is also entry control loop. So for loop also an entry control loop and while loop also an entry control loop. The syntax of while loop is while कंडीशन, यहाँ पे कंडीशन आ जाएगा. इफ द कंडीशन इज ट्रू इट विल execute the body of the loop. If the condition is false it will not execute the body of the loop. Next one is the sample program for while condition. So here all we have to initialize all the variables b less than 10. What is the value of b? 2. 2 is less than or equal to 20. Even numbers, so even number will start from 2. So we initialize the value of b as 2. So b 2 less than or equal to 20. Yes, the condition is true, so we will print the value of b as 2. Then b, increment the value by 2 because we are going to write the even numbers. So b plus equal to 2 means b equal to b plus 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 less than or equal to 20. Like this it will check the condition. When the condition becomes false it will come out of the loop. So this while loop is also called as an entry controlled loop. So another one example is here by using the while loop. Next, so these are the steps shown while n not equal to 0. When the condition will true, we will do the operations till the value of n becomes 4. When the value of n becomes 0, the condition is false. So here we have to stop the program. Okay. The next one is do while loop. Do while loop is called as an exit control loop because it will do the calculation first and it will check the condition here. Oh, so it is called as an exit control loop. See, unlike the for and the while loops, the do while loop is an exit control loop. It evaluates its test condition at the bottom of the loop after executing its loop body statement. This means that do while loop always execute at least once even if the statement evaluated as false. Okay, see this is the syntax of this loop. Do body of the loop, then it text the condition. Do, it can do the calculation first, then it check the condition. If the condition is true, then also it one time it will do the calculation. If the condition false, then also it will do the condition once, then it check the condition. Here if the condition is false, then it will exit from the loop. Okay, so only one time, at least only one time it will do the body of the calculation whether the condition is true or false. So it is called as an exit control loop. The next one is the program. See here the initial value of b is 3. Okay, so it will increment the value, it will print the value 3. What is the program? We are going to write the multiples of 3. So here it increment the value also b equal to b plus 3. 3 plus 3 means 6. 6 here only it will check the condition. So first time it is not checking the condition directly, it print the, it do the statement inside the curly braces, then it check the condition. Like this it will repeat till the value of b becomes 30. Okay students, so do while for loop and while loop is called as entry control loop and do while loop is called as exit controlled loop. Now we are going to see what is nested loop. Nested loop means the loop that is used inside another loop, that is called as nested loop. Okay, see the nested loop is an inner loop, is a loop that appears in the loop body of another loop. The inner or outer loop can be of any type, while, do while or for. In a nested loop, after the inner loop completes its iteration, the outer loop goes for the next iteration. So here you see one for loop is here and another one for loop is here. So if two or more for loops are there, this is called as an inner loop and it is called as an outer loop. Okay, so the inner loop will execute first. When the condition here in the inner loop becomes false, then the outer loop will increment the value by 1. First what we will do is x equal to 1, x less than 3, x plus plus. ठीक है. Then we have y equal to 1, y less than 3, y plus plus. If the condition is false, true, y equal to 1, 1 less than or equal to 3, yes, the condition is true. So you have to print here also. First initial value is x is equal to 1, then we come inside this inner loop. Okay, so x ka value 1, then y ka value 1. Here we check 1 less than or equal to 3, yes, so we print the value of x and y, that is 1 1. Now y will increment the value, x ka value 1 ऐसे ही रहेगा. Okay, when the condition becomes false, y become false, then x will increment the value by 1. Now the initial value of x is 1, y ka value 2, 2 less than or equal to 3, yes, the condition is true, so you have to print the value of x and y, that is 1 2. Now also x ka value 1, because the y is not become false, y increment the value 3, so x ka value 1, 3 less than or equal to 3, yes, 3 is equal to 3, so we have to print 1 3. Now y increment the value 4, here the condition will become false. So what we have to do is, when the inner loop become false, we have to go to the outer loop and increment the value by 1. Now x ka value 2. Okay, x value is 2 and y value is 1. Again we are checking 1 is less than or equal to 3, yes, the condition is true, so x ka value 2, y ka value 1. Okay, like this it will go till the condition becomes false. Till the condition becomes false means both the condition will become false, the outer loop as well as the inner loop. Okay, so this is called as nested loop. The loop used within another loop is called as a nested loop. So students, we stop this part here, and we are going to see the remaining part, see the remaining portion in the third part of this chapter. Okay.